And 3, 2, 1. Here we are again. I had to count that down because, you know, sometimes it doesn't start up right away. I can't start talking right away. You'll miss the brilliance. You'll miss the crazy awesomeness. Yep, VlogDog, WalkTalk. What's up? IRLucas. Here we are. And I'm walking down a hill right now. Oh, yeah, well, I'll show you. Here's the dog. Hey, dog, what are you doing? Kiki. You tracking that bunny? I can see a bunny. Oh, yeah, I don't think you see it yet. Where are you going? Where are you going? So, back from vacation. And, what a time that was. What a time. Got to play some games. Ride some rides. Play in the pool a bunch of times. Not playing pool, playing in a pool. Which I haven't really done in a while. Haven't been in a bigger pool where you can actually swim around. So the first day, I mean, I swam a lot. And then each consecutive day it was just a little bit less and a little bit less. First day, I'm like, yeah, get on my back and I'll pull you around like I'm a dolphin. Haha. And oh yeah, do all this. And it's, you know, splashing and grabbing and jumping and diving. Well, not diving from into the pool because it was a smaller pool. And, you know, I've learned my lesson on that. When it says no diving, don't dive because you could end up like a crippled piece of shit. Yeah, it was kind of cool though because my kids, the boys, they didn't really get a lot of, you know, swimming time when they were young. So they got to really start like getting more comfortable with diving and holding their breath. And, you know, all the kids had goggles, so they were, and the girls had floaties, so they weren't really diving in as much under the water, but the boys were. So all my kids were getting a little more comfortable with the water this vacation, which is great, you know. Now the next time that we all go to a pool, they'll be a little more used to it. You know, the first day, my younger son, he was like mad, just because he couldn't, you know, he was just, I'm getting splashed and I can't really float that well, and I was trying to teach him how to swim, but he was getting frustrated. He gets really frustrated. Hi, do we hi Yaru, you how are you? Do we hi Yaru? And then my older son, you know, he's just like, hey dad, look at this. And, you know, and I was trying to teach him how to not hold his nose when he goes under, which he was doing it a little bit, so that's good. And, you know, I mean, I'm a fish myself. I swam so much as a kid, so I got some goggles too, and I'm jumping down and trying to show them what to do and all that, you know, so it was fun. And then, yeah, the little girls, they're just wearing their floaty jackets, so they're like, look at me, I'm swimming, I'm all over the place, ha ha ha. But my older daughter, well, the 6-year-old, you know, she gets a little upset at things and got splashed a little much. There were some other kids in the pool too that were jumping in and being crazy. She's like, they splashed me, and she got all upset like I think the third day. But the youngest one, oh, it's funny, you know, the one who's the youngest and deals with probably the most shit from everybody seems to be the most resilient one. Like, no matter what, yeah, she maybe sucked in a little in her nose and got upset a few times, but man, she got over it quick, man. That little one gets over things so quick. I'm like, I watch her do stuff and I'm like, she's the toughest of them all. She is. She's the most rough and tumble one. I mean, fourth child, you know, I think that's the way it works anyway. They can kind of take a little more beating than all the other kids because they're just used to the shit rolling downhill on them the most, I guess, in a way. That's why you gotta be nice to the young ones, because all the older ones are picking on them, you know? But, yeah, and then we went to an arcade. They went on a day. I actually worked on Monday and then didn't work Tuesday and Wednesday. So on Monday, they all went to the arcade and had a good time. And then on Tuesday, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? No, we did something else on Tuesday. I can't remember. I think we mostly, yeah, I can't remember exactly what we did. What did we do that day? Let's see, we did a lot of breakfast. Good continental breakfast at the place Hey, Danica, Austria V87, doing my little VlogDog WalkTalk here. Yeah, great continental breakfast at this hotel we had. You know, they're the waffle makers and everything, and the boys are like, make me a waffle. I had a waffle on the Tuesday, and I'm just not used to that many carbs. It was a big waffle, and I swear it kind of made me feel sick. It did, that's right, because I went back to the house. Yeah, I went back to the house, and I think, yeah, the second day, on Tuesday is when we stayed in the pool till almost closing. That's what it was. Yeah. I got back to the house, and I don't know what it was. Like, I just kind of felt sick. When was it, Monday? I can't even remember. Whatever. But yeah, the day when I had the waffle, you know, because I put whipped cream on it and chocolate chips and maple syrup, but I still had eggs and sausage and all that. It was just way too much. I'm like, I'm not used to this many carbs in the morning anymore. I usually drink a protein drink and don't even eat anything until like 10:30 in the morning. So I was like, oh boy, don't mess up the routine too much, Jesus. But yeah, it was fun having what am I doing? I am walking my dog. Oh yeah, here you go. Here she is. There's Kiki. There's the star of the show. This is just, like I said, this is just a vlog. I like to talk about the things that are happening, because, you know, if you don't document it, you're going to forget it all. I can at least go back at some point and go, when did this happen? When did that happen? I go, oh, all right. So when I'm listening to my vlog, I said this, and, you know. Because who wants to keep a journal anymore? Who has the time to sit and write? Ugh. Or type? What am I, Doogie Howser? That's a little joke for all you, or a little reference for all you oldies. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I went back to work today after having 2 days off. So it was a small vacation, you know. Can't really afford to take a giant vacation right now, especially with having all the kids. It just costs a lot, you know. I mean, the day that we went to, there's an arcade we went to, and then that particular arcade also has rides and stuff. So we did the rides, and I think after a certain time, I think after 5 o'clock, if you mention you can get half off, they give you half off. So that was cool, you know. And we just kept, and I think it's a 2-hour time limit. Of course, we kind of figured out later on that we probably didn't even need to get the bracelets for the little girls, because they had to ride with us every time. And every time it's like, yeah, if they're riding with you, then you need to be scanned. So I don't know, maybe they saw the bracelets on them and we didn't have to scan them, but I almost feel like maybe we could have saved a little bit. We could have saved like $40 or whatever it was without getting them their bracelets, but that's fine. Whatever. It was fun. Bumper cars and bumper boats, and they also had a go-kart track and a slick track. I didn't do the slick track, but I did the big go-kart track. Of course, yeah, you know, we're all waiting in line. I was first in line with one of the little ones, and the wife was the next with another little one, and then the boys were behind us. And I thought there was enough go-karts. Hi, the Jersey Mac. I know you already said that a while ago, but I thought that the go-karts, there was going to be enough space for all of us to go. There wasn't. I guess they cut it off right behind my wife, so the 2 boys couldn't get on the go-karts. And I didn't know that. If I had known this, I would have let them be in line first and let them go first, and we could have waited. But again, I'm already sitting on the go-kart, and my wife's like, oh, I don't think the boys got on. I'm like, really? I'm like, oh, shit. So we go around, and I'm having a good old time. Woohoo! They let me go first. They're like, your aisle can go first. It was the bigger go-karts with 2 people. I'm like, all right. And like, no one caught up to me. I created so much space. I mean, a couple people were passing my wife. And, I heard her later saying like, oh yeah, around the corners you got to hit the brake. And I was like, I literally did not I never hit the brake the entire time. I kept my foot on the gas. I would let up coming into a turn. I would let up for like a second. But of course, I'm trying to do tight turns, and like, even when there's a little bit of a turny spot, I'm trying to hit the straight path, and you know what I mean? I'm going out a little bit so that I can cut some of the turns really tight and this and that. I mean, I'm using all my racing knowledge I've gathered over the years, and I fucking killed it on that first run, even though there were 2 people. I mean, again, it's a bigger go-kart, so it probably has a little more power. I don't know. But I weigh more than all those kids that were driving. Come on, put your fucking foot on the gas, yo. But my older son got upset, and he didn't even want to do the go-karts after that. My other son was fine. He was like, yeah, I want to go. So I went again with my little one again, because she had a great time. And she's like, yeah, I want to go again. And all right. And then, I'm telling my older son, like, come on, let's go, man. Like, if you had just stayed in line and not went and sat and pouted, you would have been first in line, and you would have been one of the first go-karts to go. But he's like, no, I'm gonna sit, no. Like, whatever, dude. Excuse me, I'm picking up dog poop right now. So that was kind of like, all right, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that, oh yeah, he's still young enough to be pouty. Well, I guess everyone can be pouty, huh? Everybody can be pouty, especially when information comes out about them that they didn't want anyone to know, eh? Yeah, that's the difference between... See, now I'm going to pivot into talking about stuff like this. Here's the thing. If you've got stuff in your past you want to hide, don't be a person that does shit online. I mean, it's kind of stupid, because it's going to come out. It's going to come out. No dogs allowed. Oh, yeah. Can we just chill right here for a minute? We'll let these people pass, huh? What do you think? It's going to come out. If anyone digs into your past, anyone ends up knowing your name or figuring anything out about you, stuff's going to come. People are going to find out, and they're going to spread it. People love to spread information about others online. It's just the way it is. So, if you're going to be someone that wants to be an online person, you have to essentially... No. Kiki, no. Stay here, please. You have to essentially just talk about the things you've done. Don't be afraid. I mean, that's the best way to nip it in the bud. I mean, maybe I'm the kind of person where, since I use my real name and you can kind of find me easily, it's like I know that I can't really hide anything, but I don't have that much to hide either. I've been a pretty good boy over the years. The things that I did do that were bad, I never got caught for. And I've actually talked about them. Yeah, when I was working at a store years ago, I mean, I used to charge money and for certain items, and then kind of go in the computer and erase or say that they returned it, and then take the money. And I almost got caught one time, but just so happens that the assistant manager who caught me was also doing some shady shit, so it was kind of canceled itself out. Whoops. Maybe I'm just lucky, or maybe I've just been around a bunch of shitty people, and it's like, hey, you keep my secret, I keep your secret, okay? Yep, that's how it goes now. Bye-bye, thank you. I mean, I didn't design it like that, but that's just how things happened with me back then. And I will say this, I was quite a prolific shoplifter. Prolific shoplifter. Can you say that 9 times fast? Prolific shoplifters. Prolific shoplifter. Prolific shoplifter. And I'm done. And I've admitted that because you know what? I was good at it back then. But at some point, and when I was working at the particular store, Spencer Gifts, it's been a long time, so in a statute of limitations, I realized at one point, I went, oh yeah, I'm liking this a little too much, so I should probably stop because I don't want to actually be like a criminal all the time. It was fun while it lasted, you know, and I was 18 years old. So here I am and I'll say this too. There were many times when I was younger. I smoked a lot of weed when I was young, man, and up until just recently too. And there were many times from the time I was 17 till the time I was about 30 where I considered smelling weed. Very seriously. I mean, it was like, you know, I know a lot of people. And I know a lot of people who are looking all the time. And I know people, I went with friends to the place where they bought weight a lot. You know what I mean? Like, because people trust me. Like, they know I'm not going to, or whatever. I was giving a guy a ride because he didn't have a car. And it's like, hey, can you take me to this guy's house? And that's where he bought weight. So, then, you know, I could have just been like, hey, maybe I'll start selling too for you. I mean, it would have been really, really easy for me. And there were many times I considered it. Many, many, many times. Now, I'll say this. I wasn't like super strapped for cash ever. I always had a job. And, you know, I didn't have kids when I was really young. So, you know, there was really no reason to make extra cash. But even so, it's enticing. You know, you start thinking like, oh, you know, I'll be making money for what? Just calling people or texting people and meeting them places and hanging out with them and smoking weed and then getting money from them. And then eventually, if you sell enough, you get free weed. You're basically selling weed to have weed. And then if you're selling enough, if you meet the right people and you're selling to the right people and they're buying a lot, then you're making money with it, right? I would say there were probably 50 times I considered it over the years. Like, started to think like, and have that dream of like, you know, it's not, it is illegal, but I could and you know, part of me would be like, I could probably come up with like good ways to do it and not get caught if I really sat and thought about it. Because you see some people and they're just sort of willy-nilly with it, you know? Or like, you know, I had a friend who one time when I was living in an apartment with my buddies, this one guy who was like a really good friend of mine at one point, I was living with his brother, and he started to use our apartment as the place for people to meet. Now, we lived above a doctor's office, so after 5:00 p.m., the doctor and all the nurses and everything left. No one was there. So it was, you know, maybe not the worst idea, except for the fact that we were right near a hospital too. And the police were always like going up and down the street. So, I mean, if you see, they know that there's an apartment there. But man, if you see like 5 cars stopping by for 10 minutes every night, and a dude running down and then talking to them for a few minutes, leaning into the car and then going home, eventually somebody's going to say something, you know? And it used to piss me off that he never really asked us like, hey, is it all right if I sell from here? He would just come hang out. He'd be like, hey, can I hang out? And he'd like give everyone snacks and smoke weed with everyone. And it was kind of like, hey, I'll do this stuff with you and then you won't say anything. And it just kind of bothered me. And it's like, man, this is the kind of guy who he uses everyone around him. And I just hated it. I just freaking hated it. Okay, calm down. How you doing? I just hate it when people do that. They just they see, you know, it's like you see an opportunity and you just, no matter who it's going to harm, if things go awry, you just do it. And that brings me back to these people online who, with a spotty past, with crazy shit that they've done that they're trying to hide, but they're out there, you know, like criticizing everyone else for all the little things that they've done. Oh, this person's a shitty parent for this. This person's a shitty person because of this. They do this and they do that and blah, blah, blah. And someone should do something about it. And I'm really taking them to task. It's like, yeah, but if you got some of that crazy shit in your past too, the same thing's going to happen to you. And it's not some people it's a jealousy thing, yes. Oh, they don't like that I'm kind of successful or that certain people like me, so they're gonna always come after me. That's just the nature of success. No matter what. Like, the same thing has happened to me in most places I've gone to. There's always someone gunning for me because I generally make friends with most of the people around me because I'm a pretty decent fellow and I can talk, I can banter and have a good time and like, I don't care what someone's like nationality is. I don't care what they're like, what they believe in, this and that. But if you can be a nice person and talk and have a good time, I enjoy your company, and usually they enjoy mine. And then there's other motherfuckers who, it's the Cain and Abel situation. It's like some people think that, hey, I'm a decent person, so I should get everything. It's like, just being a decent person doesn't mean a thing, usually, like, all the time. Yes, like, going around and telling everyone all the time that you're a decent person. I mean, I'm doing it right now, but that's just because, most of you people don't know who I am. But just expecting things because of that, you're turning into Cain, right? Because maybe people can tell that you're disingenuous or that you're not really enjoying yourself. You're sort of, you're playing along with people, but it's not, you don't really care about them, or, it's a really tricky thing. It's like, there's a lot of people who think that they can hide their personality from others, but you can't, because there's subtle things that everyone does that gives away who they are. And maybe everyone isn't as perceptive as others. I find myself to be very perceptive of people and their personality quirks and traits, because I've known a lot of odd people that act one way but are actually another way. So I tend to pick up on those things quickly. But it only takes time for people to expose themselves for who they truly are. And once that happens, it's hard for a lot of people to sit there and go, well, but they've done some good things. I know that they've done some good and decent things, because sometimes you start thinking, well, maybe they're just doing the good and decent things because they're trying to atone for all the shit that they've done in their life. And that's what it comes down to. I don't ever expect anything good to come from the good things I do. I just hope that maybe me showing a little kindness to someone will cause them to show kindness to someone else. That's all I really think when I do kind things for people. Or it's the decent thing to do to help a person who's in need, who's a little confused about something, or a little this. Now, that person might be trying to get in my pocket, or trying to waste my time, or trying to be an energy vampire, whatever. If that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing. But that's not what I'm doing, Oh, it's so weird. There's a house that is now sold. It was for sale recently, and it just got sold. It's on my street, and I'm just noticing now, because I'm walking at night, that none of the lights are on in the house, which is just odd, when you've seen a house 1,000 times, and it's usually got a couple of lights on, and you just walk by it and you're like, oh wow, there are absolutely zero lights on in this house right now. Wow, except for the outdoor light. Everything else is so dark. Just seems lonely. Oh wait, there's one upstairs. I'm wondering if these are the new owners. No, I do see one little lamp, but all the rest of the house that's usually lit up is lit up. I couldn't even tell from the angle I was at. Wow, it's just weird. Times they are changing. All right. Well, I'm back home, and that was a nice little talk. So try to get ahead of things. Be a real person. Be you. Don't try to hide yourself, because the real you will be exposed eventually. And if you know that people aren't going to like the real you, maybe you should change who that is. Food for thought. Yo, what's up, Binge? Binge Facts. I gotta. You know what? I'm just at the end of this live. I do have to